basically, you know, I just kind of wanted to do this topic. It's kind of on how everybody thinks Apple's always more expensive with all their devices. I'm not really going to compare their desktop computers, which I believe are really, if you compare them to price point, I believe they're really the same, more or less. But I'm actually talking about, like I said, in cases where Apple's actually more cheaper than the PC equivalents. And particularly two devices. One, which are the tablets, and number two, the MacBook Airs and the PC equivalents, which would be they call them Ultrabooks, which were designed to compete with the MacBook Airs. I wanted to say that cost is really a relative depending on your budget. And some, you know, on the hardware as well. Now we're going to look at tablets first. Now, if you really compare spec for spec the same with the iPad versus a PC equivalent tablet, you're going to find that most PC manufacturers cannot compete the price point of the iPad. So either they got to price it lower with less specs than the iPad, or spec wise the same as the iPad, or more specs or hardware and charge more. But you can't really see them you know, do it on the same level, because it's all how Apple does their business. They have huge stockpiles of cash and often use it to their advantage for purchasing all their materials cheaper. In fact, recently they are trying to buy right now, I think it's Anobit, which is a flash storage company, which would be to their advantage because obviously they use flash in a lot of their devices, iPhones, MacBook Airs, iPads, and so on. So, and in many cases, what they'll do is they have to sell their hardware at a loss, like what Amazon Kindle Fire is doing right now, and they plan on making it up by selling content, you know, TVs, movies, books, and so on. And in fact, I think they're even doing it at a 40 to 50 loss per device. So, and in that case, you're actually getting more for your money on the same price point. So, you know, that's just one thing we're comparing. Now, looking at their MacBook Air range and the PC equivalent, which is, they call them Ultrabooks, which are supposed to kind of compete with the MacBook Airs when they came out, particularly during the second generation. They started getting pretty good and lower in price. In fact, Apple, since they started lowering the price on their base MacBook Airs, it started competing with their own brand, which is MacBook, made out of polycarbonate plastic. They even discontinued those, I believe, because of that reason, even though I think they still might sell it like with an educational account or something like that. I'm not sure. I think at one time they were, or still are. And same thing here. If you try to compare the same specs or around there, as close as you can get with the MacBook Air and the Ultrabook, you're going to find that PC manufacturers can't compete with price. They often, usually they end up charging more for the Ultrabooks than the MacBook Air. Same thing here. So, you know, you got to think of those things as well. You know, all right, that's it.